Hey, what's up everyone, Sangliton here, and we are back for a new episode of Spice for Thought. Episode number 13 now will be dedicated to early revealing and specifically when to do so. So we'll go through a couple of questions that lead us to maybe a better idea of when it can be worth early revealing. As usual, if you enjoy this kind of videos, let me know in the comments as well what kind of other topics I could address, because I'm slowly but surely running out of ideas. So it would be great to have some inputs there. I appreciate for all those who already gave me some inputs. That's great. And as you can see now, I'm already using these suggestions to create new videos and new episodes for this series. So yeah, thanks a lot to all of you. But if you have more, just go for it. I'd enjoy to hear about that. Hit that subscribe on YouTube if you enjoy that. Hope to catch you maybe live one of those days as well, so follow on Twitch. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it. All right, so first point to note is early revealing is a risk. As we've already covered it in a previous episode, you only have like from 15 to 20, maybe 25 if really the game stretches and you get an early Sword Master, up to maximum 25 agent actions, but it's rather usually between, I would say, 15 to 22 to remain conservative. So giving one or even more than that up for an early reveal to buy a card is a risk, and this is a risk that you need to be able to take into account to see if basically this future uncertain value that you might get from being able to play that card is worth giving up a present value of playing an agent turn right now. So I've put up a little matrix together that might help understanding when it is worth to revealing for what kind of card as well. So you can see that in the left hand column we would have the game stage, so whether it's early game, round 1 to 3, or late game, or I mean mid to late game would be round 4 to whenever the game ends. And in the first row we would see the value, so the present value of what you might do early is reasonably low to medium, depending on what you're doing obviously. And in late game usually the present value of the actions you are taking is high, because the combat stakes is higher, the cards you play are better, so the agent actions you get out of them are usually better, and it's just generally more important because that's the moment you start collecting victory points to a higher scale. So yeah, and what is the future value then? Well, it's usually the inverse, because early game the future value can be potentially very high because there is a long future, let's put it that way. And as we said, your late game is bringing usually more value to your actions, so having better cards for that makes a lot of sense. Obviously when it's late game already, the future value is very low or even non-existent, because it might be the last round, so there might not be a future to this game. So this is where I wanted to head with that matrix, and the conclusion on this is basically that early revealing needs to outweigh the value of the missed actions, so the present value of what you're not doing basically. And how do we get there? Well, that is a good question. So when to early reveal? A quick summary or a bit of a rephrasing of what we've said on the last slide is basically we would early reveal when the expected value of the card or cards you buy outweighs the value of the action or actions you miss. So early game, I would say you can go for a strong card overall with an immediate benefit or not. So immediate benefit here, I would mean rather like the acquisition effect. We'll see a couple of examples afterwards. But overall, what is important to keep in mind is count how many times you can reasonably expect to see it. If it's round 1 and you have strong draw power because maybe you're Ilban, then you can probably expect to see your card 3, even 4 times if you keep your deck slim and you increase that engine with maybe some more draw power, like a Bene Gesserit Initiate or something that gives you green access and draws at the same time, or a Holo Projector, or Lady Jessica obviously. And cards like that obviously will help you to see those strong cards as many times as possible. Late game, especially when there's no more rounds, then it's only about immediate benefit, obviously. Unless there's a spaceport, you have a spaceport, or there's a recruitment mission in your hand, which obviously allow you to put that card top of your deck, then you might see immediate value to it. And there, obviously, then the paradigm shifts. You might have, the expected value of that card is much closer to you, given you can put it top of the deck. Yeah, that's probably the right way to put it. So now let's have a quick look at what kind of card we could see. So here are the cards I identified as the ones with an immediate benefit, so an acquire effect. Obviously, I've left out the most obvious of all, Spice Must Flow, and this one starting from round 5, I would say, even earlier depending a bit on the profile of the game, but usually around game 5. If you can reach Spice Must Flow and your remaining action does not have much value, go for it. But here are 4 cards with immediate acquire effect that might be worth it late game and early game as well, obviously. Those are actually all worth early game as well. Depends a bit on your game, obviously. Appropriate might not be the right fit if you are not on the shipping track, and so on. But Lady Jessica, Liet kinds are more often than not worth it. Obviously, you don't necessarily need to early reveal for them, depending on what else happens, obviously, in your opponent's game plans, and how well you can read them will also help you define whether you need to early reveal or not. But yeah, those are the 4 cards with immediate benefits. Chrome Directorship, to be honest, is the most obvious one, because this equates 4 actions, basically. 1 bump on Emperor, 1 bump on Spacing Guild, 1 on Bene Gesserit, 1 on Fremen. And this, you basically need 4 actions to make that happen with any other agent action you would do. Except maybe Firm Grip, but we'll probably get there a bit later. But yeah, this one, to be honest, is often worth even an early reveal on 2 agents, because it saves you 4 actions, basically. Again, if you have all your friendships and all the alliances are locked, then not, because you don't get a lot of value out of it. Again, it's all a matter of value for your own game, no general rules here. But yeah, those are usually the cards that are worth it, even by the end of the game, potentially to early reveal if those acquire effects mean something to you. Then the next cards here are the ones that are strong overall, not necessarily immediate value. So late game might not see so much value in early revealing for them, and I would, for more often than not, for all of those, I would advise against early revealing, unless again you can put it top of your deck or something like that. But other than that, those are more cards that are really worth early revealing for, or can be early in your game. I've put them in my subjective order from best to worst. All of them can be worth early revealing, but for me those are from best to worst in terms of power strength for an early reveal. Tilax Master, I think, is the most broken card when you play with Immortality, so this is probably going to be the first one there, especially for the reveal. It gives you 2 research actions. So if you're outweighing, should I play my experimentation or play Tilax Master? Well, if that experimentation allows you to smuggle down and get Soul Master, reconsider, of course. But if it's just to send it to Impel Basin, gain 1 spice, and maybe be able to get something out of the combat, Tilax Master reveals for 2 research actions, so not playing that experimentation. If you get to reveal Tilax Master even only once, you get twice as many research actions as the one you just lost. By definition, future expected value is bigger than the present value, so you just go for it. Tilax Surgeon, a bit the same vein. Getting those extra beetles can be a VP very easily, so same kind of logic. Web of Power, you reveal it for a bump, or end of the game can also allow you to go selective for 3 draws potentially, so it has also that versatility of potentially being revealed or being played and having a strong overall game. So this is often a card you can early reveal for as well. Guild bankers definitely as well. I mean, Spice Must Flow is important in the game more often than not, so getting those on discount can be very helpful. Firm Grip goes actually a bit with hand in hand with Treachery, Shifting Allegiances, and Power Play. In the logic is you lose one action now to be able to, in the future, get maybe a double bump somewhere, or in two different factions. In the case of Firm Grip, you get one with Wealth if you send it there, and you get another bump. So basically, this kind of catches up on that action mechanically, because you get one more influence bump. Same with Treachery, same with Power Play. And Shifting, well, net is only one bump, but you might be able to reshuffle a bit of influence where you might have committed too much. Like, let's say you have 3 influence somewhere where the alliance has been locked. You don't need that extra influence, so you can shuffle it down to gain a friendship or an alliance somewhere else. So in essence, it also allows you to maybe gain one influence action that you might not have been able to get when you early revealed for that card. Gurney is a very strong card and might help you get, I don't know, like a VP from a combat, or just overall getting more value out of your actions by recruiting troops, by drawing cards, and so on. In the Shadows, a bit the same as Web of Power, gets you influence on reveal, so that's very strong. It's also a card that is worth trashing at some point, especially if you go selective, double trash, double bandages read bump by going selective and trashing in the Shadows might give you an alliance. So this is also a card that can be worth early revealing for. Those cards, those 10 cards, I would say, are kind of the main ones that are most like versatile and most obvious to be able to reveal for early in your game. Again, I would do that only if it really suits your play or you have no choice, or if the action you will take is not so valuable and you see more value in getting that card and being able to play it once or twice. By playing, I mean maybe potentially also just early revealing it by default, typically the guild bankers. So yeah, this would be it in terms of cards that are worth early revealing for. Again, there are other cards like, I don't know, a Steel Suits Manufacturer, Imperial Basha if you have artillery, Guild Ambassador if you have the Spacing Guild Alliance, and so on. There are some more specific cases where it could also be worth early revealing for, but these are the most obvious ones in my opinion. Here are the questions to keep in mind while playing, because those can lead you or help you in your decision making to know if you should early reveal or not. First is, how good is your agent move right now? What is it worth it? Is it worth a VP in combat? Then more often than not, it's going to be worth just playing that agent move. Is it worth your Swordmaster? Then as well, Smuggler Recall, get your Swordmaster next round, otherwise you drop down to the bottom of the Swordmaster queue. Probably go for it. Don't early reveal, and so on. But if it's just going to tech nego and that no tech acquired, just getting a negotiator for God knows what, and you could early revealing now for the same amount of persuasion that you would have, and so on, then start asking that question. Second question is, how much value can you expect from the card you target? How often do you think you will see it? This plays a big role in the value that you will see in that card, because if it can be as strong as a Kwisatz Haderach, for instance, but if you're not even sure you'll see it once, then the expected value drops significantly, because obviously you need to see it to be able to get value out of it. And Kwisatz is actually a good example also of a good card to early reveal for, although with 8 persuasion, it's more often than not more efforts than just early revealing to be able to get there. So meaning you need probably play it at least 2 or 3 times to really see high value in it. How likely am I to still get the card without early revealing? This is obviously a bit the greed factor, is what do you see in the persuasion of your opponents? Do they still have maybe their family atomics, so the token that you get from immortality to nuke the row and replace it with 5 new cards, and so on. If none of them have an atomics, you see all their discards, they haven't drawn any cards, you know exactly how much persuasion they all have, and you know nobody can reach the card you want, and you can still reach it even without early revealing, then obviously don't. I mean, just play. And that's also the strength of knowing your opponent's decks, being able to anticipate, read the game, and that might actually save you an agent move right now to be able to still play it. And the last point, I think is still worth keeping in mind as well. Are there good alternatives for your persuasion? You are right now, let's say, round 3. You have 6 persuasion, and you see that treachery. You're like, this could be very interesting. I really like it. But I have a strong move right now, and I would still have 5 persuasion. I still have my nuke. Nobody got to those strong 5 or 3 coster card yet. None of them have been revealed in the row. And to be honest, if I have a strong move right now, I would go for it and I would nuke the row and hope to find one of those cards we've seen before. Web of Power, Tilax Surgeon, Tilax Master, Guildbankers, Firm Grip, In the Shadows, Shifting, Power Play, another Power Play because there are 3 in the deck, and so on. Those are many good cards that you can find, and it is maybe not worth early revealing if you still have your token, you have strong persuasion, and there are reasonable alternatives to go for. So yeah, those would be my few thoughts on when to early reveal. Let me know in the comments, obviously, where you disagree or what else in terms of tips you would give for early revealing. As said at the start of the video, let me know if you have any other ideas to be able to continue this series. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy what I do. I hope to see you very soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.